It had been pouring rain in Oak Village for 3 straight days, turning the low spots in the schoolyard into muddy pits that swallowed everything. Principal Lawson called all the teachers together for a meeting, ordering us to round up the students in the classrooms. Except for meals and bathroom breaks, no one was to let them wander freely. I just finished organizing my class with a colleague when Mr. Lewis, the department head, came rushing over with a torn umbrella, braving the downpour. "Miss Laura, what's wrong? You look frantic." I stepped out quickly. "Your brother, your little brother." Mr. Lewis caught his breath. "He says he's here to help teach in your place, and he's in the principal's office right now." "What?" I exclaimed in shock, then followed him into the rain. Didn't he say the rain made travel impossible? How did he even get into the village? Oak Village was tucked away in a remote spot, no direct public transport, with a long, winding road in and out that required switching vehicles multiple times, taking a full day of grueling travel. In weather like this recent deluge, who knew when you'd actually make it? Half a month ago, I'd come here as part of the Cross-Province Mountain Region Teaching Aid Program from Linden, South Province, along with 3 others in my group. On the second day after getting the news, the only guy in our team accidentally fell while helping fix a roof, injuring his arm and leg, so he had to head home to recover. That left his teaching load vacant for now. The 4 of us had been assigned based on the local school's specific needs, so our curricula were all different. To avoid disrupting classes, Principal Lawson reapplied for a substitute teacher on leave, but we hadn't heard back yet. That's when I casually mentioned it while chatting with my best friend, Jane. I didn't expect her to find someone for me that very night. It was her half-brother from her dad's second wife, Theo Stewart. Theo? Didn't he go abroad? I remembered back in my sophomore year of college, Jane's dad and Theo's mom divorced, and soon after, Theo followed his mom to the States, cutting off contact with us. He was just vacationing there, then he went to boarding school near his dad, and now he's in college in Northridge. Jane suddenly remembered something. "Oh, right, I forgot to tell you. My dad went to the U.S. on business and patched things up with Aunt Tessa. Otherwise, I wouldn't even know Theo was still in the country." "Your dad's a legend, chasing his ex-wife all the way to America." I sighed in genuine admiration. "Anyway, that's the deal. I'll send you Theo's contact. I've got stuff to do later, so chat with him yourself." "Okay." I messaged Theo, and the conversation flowed smoothly. He'd set out from Northridge 5 days ago. Planes, high-speed trains, regular trains, buses, and finally arrived at a county inn 3 days back. But with the heavy rains, the mountain roads were treacherous, and no county drivers wanted to risk entering the village. Well, old Mr. Lewis, the village chief, has been feeling under the weather lately. His son works in the county and rushed to the bus station to ask if anyone would ride a motorcycle in. Mr. Lewis clapped his hands. Lo and behold, he bumped into your friend asking for a ride too. They teamed up and decided to head in together. Hearing that, my vision went black with dread. Forget the dozens of miles of brutal mountain roads, just the torrential rain alone was enough to terrify anyone. I stormed into the office with a grim face. "Ah, Miss Laura's here." Principal Lawson smiled. "You need to scold your little brother. He's got some nerve." There were 3 people in the room, 2 standing, 1 sitting. The standers were Principal Lawson and his granddaughter, Eve, who was also a teacher here. "Yes, I'll give him a piece of my mind," I replied, then turned to Theo, who was sitting between them, towel drying his hair. Boys at 18 really do transform. Theo was worlds apart from the bespectacled kid with the regulation haircut shorter than me, etched in my memory. If we'd passed on the street, I might not have recognized him. Theo? Back home, I'd chewed out my siblings plenty. Harsh words, soft ones, all of it. But now facing this guy who was only brother through a few twists, I didn't know how to lay into him. Theo stood up slowly, and my gaze shifted from looking down to level, then slightly up to take in his full stature. I frowned. "Why aren't you obedient like before?" Amid the pounding rain, Theo, with his messy wet hair, gave a faint smile. "Long time no see." Yeah, it had been a long time. So long that even his voice felt a bit foreign to me, but here he was, for real. Remembering the past, I relaxed my frown. After all these years, you've grown on the outside, but not a bit wiser. In rain like this, if something happened on the road, how would I explain it to your sister? Theo touched his head, silent as ever, just like old times. Principal Lawson stepped in to mediate. All right, Miss Laura. Take your brother to shower quick. Don't let him catch a cold." That's when I noticed his soaked clothes. I sighed. "Come on, I'll take you to the dorm first." Theo grabbed his luggage and followed, not minding the distance. I suddenly remembered something and turned back abruptly, my eyes landing right on his neck. His drenched clothes clung to his broad-shouldered, narrow-waisted frame, his chest muscles not bulky but defined. Flashing before me was the image of that quiet kid lugging a backpack behind me in the past. The boy had turned into a lean, muscled man. The contrast was huge. I felt a weird amusement, walking and talking. Conditions here aren't great. You've seen it. If anything doesn't suit you, just tell me straight. Don't force yourself. No way. Theo lowered his eyes, watching our shadows on the ground. I think it's fine. Good then. I said no more, leading him to the teaching building door. We have few male teachers, so the dorm's just you and Mr. Phil for now. He's on duty today, not here. I'll introduce you tomorrow. The dorm was basic. Bunk beds, concrete floor, no AC, just a new fan in the space between beds. I pointed to the lower bunk by the door. Your bed's here. The mattress was aired out before. If it's uncomfortable, wait till the rain stops, and I'll take you to town for a new one. No need. It's fine. I'm not that delicate. Theo set his luggage by the bed, then suddenly said, Laura, stop treating me like a kid. I'm grown up now. I'm not treating you like a kid. No kids towering over 6 feet. I was puzzled. And hey, show some respect. Call me sis. What kind of sis are you? Theo replied softly. You want me to smack you? Theo looked at me, pretending to fiddle with his luggage instead of approaching, his voice still soft. I'm hungry. Sis? Author's note. Hi, long time no see. Writing a short story to get through this rainy season with y'all. Update schedule. Whenever I feel like it, no fixed time. Note, sis has an ex and they've done all the normal couple stuff. Mind that or bail. By then, the cafeteria lights were off. I went to the kitchen lady for the key, lit up the stove myself, and whipped up a bowl of noodle soup with eggs and bok choy. Just as it was done, Theo showed up, fresh from his shower. I dished it out and motioned for him to grab it and eat. Then I cleaned the pot, refilled it with water, and put it back on the gas. I smashed 2 ginger slices flat and tossed them in, rummaged for brown sugar in the cabinet, added 2 spoonfuls, then turned to see Theo standing behind me with his bowl. I smiled suddenly. You still remember? Yeah. He cut me off, guessing what I was about to say. The first time we met, you made me noodles too, and ginger soup after. Right. Back then, you were only this tall. I gestured, then added, silent all day. Jane said getting you to call me sis was like pulling teeth, but one bowl of noodles bought you off. Theo smiled along, the familiar scent and warmth from the bowl, stirring memories of that summer. Back then, his dad and my stepmom had just married. I was sensitive, feeling like this family was totally alien, and Jane, with her haughty attitude, didn't like this brother drop from the sky. We clashed constantly, going our separate ways to school. One day, I wanted to get to school early for makeup work, rushed out without an umbrella. Dad saw the cloudy sky and told Jane to bring one over. But she did it grudgingly, and I didn't want her pity. We barely exchanged words before she tossed the umbrella away. I was too proud to pick it up, so when school let out in a downpour, I stubbornly ran home in the rain. Dad and stepmom were workaholics, usually just the nanny and us siblings at home. But the nanny was on leave back in her hometown. No Jane's shoes at the door, grief hit hard, and I was about to bawl when someone emerged from the kitchen. Theo? The tall, slim girl smiled warmly. Hi, I'm Laura. I'd seen her photos around the house, so I wasn't startled, but I choked back tears, eyes red. Hi, why'd you run home in the rain like this? Laura stepped closer. Want a shower first? I'm making noodles. I'll serve you some. Yes, I sniffed, thinking this was the sister I wanted. Thanks. No need to thank me. Shower quick or you'll catch cold. Laura asked. Want ginger soup? I'll make some for you. Yes. I was touched to tears, all the resentment from Jane's rejection melting away with that bowl of noodles and soup. For years after, I trailed Laura like a shadow, our bond so tight it made Jane jealous and furious. In my naive days, I even fantasized about the Greys adopting me, making Laura my real sister. I wrote it in my diary, but Mom found it and joked about it at a family dinner. Laura was in 11th grade. I was still in middle school. Mr. Gray teased about arranging a childhood marriage so we'd be family. Laura played along, teasing me to eat more or I'd be shorter than her in wedding photos. I blushed hard, knowing it was jokes, but that night I dreamed we actually married. Waking up, I was shocked by my bold dream self, then horrified at the stickiness between my legs. My face went ashen. I felt like a pervert. I snuck to wash my underwear, too scared to sleep more as the dream replayed. Daytime, I avoided Laura. She thought it was teen rebellion and didn't mind. In 9th grade, I stopped shadowing her, and she was busy with college entrance exams. Same school, but without seeking each other, we went half a month without crossing paths. After high school entrance exams that summer, I agreed to Dad's invite to vacation in Northridge, returning only for school. Another family dinner. Laura asked why my replies were cold if I didn't see her as sis anymore. Her clear eyes made me mumble no. Theo's grown up. Laura had that my little bro's all big now melancholy. Won't share secrets with me anymore. I didn't know what to say, just bowed my head no. Laura ruffled my hair, about to say more, but felt my stiffness and pulled back, turning to Jane. My heart was a mess. I had so much to say but couldn't, fearing mistakes, so I acted distant. When Laura and Jane started freshman year, their colleges near home meant weekend visits. I moved to dorms, so we rarely met. Only once, on New Year's, Jane was moping post-breakup. Dad nagged her. She stormed out. I sighed and followed. Over 6 months, Jane and I had bonded more. She wanted me to bar hop with her. I'm underage, I said. Jane. Eventually, freezing, not wanting to face Dad, she dragged me to a convenience store for beers. I didn't expect her to be a lightweight. One bottle and she was tipsy, swaying like a beanstalk, spilling how much she loved her ex, how heartbroken she was, how Dad didn't get it. She grabbed my arm, rambling, Theo, you get it? You don't either. I'm so miserable. No one understands. I was sweating from her antics, flustered when a voice nearby, Theo? I looked up. Laura and the guy holding her hand, not far away. I froze. Then Jane yanked me down. Seeing her misery over love, claiming no one understood, I wanted to scream back. I do. How could I not? I'm heartbroken right now. Author's note. Theo, no one ever understands me. You're listening to Lucy's Love Story channel. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Theo? Dream and reality blurred. Theo groggily opened his eyes. The toll from yesterday's trek hit hard, aches and exhaustion everywhere. Sis. His voice rasped. You're feverish. I made porridge. Eat a bit first, then meds later. I removed the towel from his forehead. Can you sit up? His head felt heavy. He nodded with effort. Trying to rise, he dizzied and pitched forward. I caught him quick, his hot cheek brushing my cool neck. Theo nuzzled instinctively, sending a jolt through me like lightning. I stiffened and pushed him away. Theo, yeah? He murmured, eyelids heavy, lashes lifting to reveal red-rimmed eyes. Fever's fault, but it tugged at my heart. Sit still. I steadied his shoulder with one hand, wiping his face with a fresh towel. Clearer now? I squeezed his face hard enough to hurt, snapping him awake. He nodded, hoarse. I want to brush my teeth first. Forget it, you can barely sit. Don't fall in the bathroom. But I fetched mouthwash from my room. Use this. Theo rinsed, took the cup and basin I handed, managed a few bites of breakfast. Rest more. Meds in half an hour. I wrote instructions on the box. I have class. I'll check after. I gathered the dishes. What for lunch? I'll tell the cook. Theo said anything, then thought, I want the same noodles from last night. I smiled at him. Not tired of it after years? Haven't had it in ages. He looked at me. Last night was the first in years. I don't like others cooking. I looked away nonchalantly. Fine, I'll make time to cook at midday. If you're busy, skip it. I'm not that hungry. Theo said thoughtfully. Busy or not? Lunch is lunch. Noodles take minutes. I left with the stuff, not chatting more. After class, I returned to the dorm. Theo was asleep, so I didn't disturb, cooked the noodles in the cafeteria, then woke him. Touching him, his temperature was scorching. Fearing delirium, I shook his shoulder. Theo? He'd slept through meds, no one watching. He kicked off blankets when hot, groped for them when cold, fever worse than morning. I called several times before he opened eyes, still dazed, thinking it a dream. He gripped my hand tight, fever making him fragile, emotions raw. Eyes open, tears streamed from his peach blossom eyes, silently hot, melting and breaking hearts. You're just like when you were little. Fever hits, and you cry, baby. I wet the towel, gently wiping his tears, chuckling softly. And you claim you're grown up. Theo stayed silent, tears flowing. I stopped wiping, sat on the bed edge, lost in thought. Eventually, he stopped, senses returning. Realizing his breakdown, embarrassed, unsure how to face me, he closed eyes, pretending sleep. I didn't notice at first. When he turned, I saw he dozed off, shook him. No more sleep, eat. Theo faked it, mumbling but eyes shut. I said nothing, spotted the med box, grabbed it for pills, morning dose untouched. Furious, I smacked him. Theo, you can't wake someone faking sleep, but a hand can. Theo winced in pain, turned to me, feigning just woke grogginess. What? Why didn't you take morning meds? I shook the box. Slept through. Theo propped up slowly. Not on purpose. I set an alarm but slept too deep. I was pissed enough to KILL, toss the box back. Eat. Theo dared not argue, head spinning, swaying, tasteless food, but he forced half the bowl. Full, not tired, but dizzy from fever, he drank water and lay down. Fearing he'd forget again, I pulled a chair to the bedside, waiting till he took meds. Afternoon rain intensified, pattering clearly. Theo stared at the upper bunk, name scrawled, 3 letters, 2, 4, messy relics from past volunteers. Why'd you want to volunteer teach? He asked suddenly. Saw the call, wanted to come. My answer simple, no grand reasons. I majored in languages, did 3 years grad school after undergrad, just graduated this year. No interest in civil service or abroad, family supported, parents open-minded. Last grad semester, saw the school's poster. Stood there, made 2 calls, one to sign up, one to tell parents. Post-grad, classmates to prestigious jobs, I ran to the mountains to teach. How long you signing on? Theo asked. A year. Staying after? Haven't thought that far. I'm a day-by-day type. What about you? Thought you were going abroad. Why back? Too far. Theo looked at me. Too far from you. I met his dark eyes, a fear surging, fingers digging into the chair arm. From everyone, Theo said quietly. Yeah? I yawned to dodge his gaze. Then why no contact for so long? Situation was complicated then. Theo paused, silent. Seeing him hide, I didn't pry. Planned to leave after meds, but Phil returned for nap. I couldn't stay, instructed a bit, and left. Rain, like beaded curtains, splattered the muddy yard. For days after, Theo woke to that sound in his dreams. One morning, silence startled him. Eyes open, sky clear, body better, room empty, he went out. I saw him from the hallway and approached. How today? Much better. Theo ruffled his hair. Hungry enough to eat a cow. I laughed. Get ready quick, I'll take you to the cafeteria. Rain stopped, work piled up. Theo nodded. Okay. Oak Village fully dried. Second floor classrooms leaked badly. The unfinished playground was flooded, but no flash floods, all salvageable. Post-rain cleanup chaotic. By midday, Theo and I barely spoke 2 words over lunch. Afternoon, he vanished. Evening back at dorm, Theo saw I hadn't returned. Texts unanswered. He couldn't help asking Phil. Oh, forgot. You didn't remind me. Phil recalled. She and the principal went to town to pick someone up. Back tomorrow, probably. Picking up? Who else coming? Theo poured hot water, cooling it for meds. Dunno, someone she contacted for school donations, I think. Phil said. She left in a hurry, didn't ask details. Anyway, meds, I need a photo for her. Taking now, Theo smiled. You wash up first, I'll snap and send. Cool. Theo savored the constant care. He meticulously photographed the pills, the cooling water, the empty box after. I replied quick, good boy, with a kitty head pat sticker. Theo wished he could jump into the screen as that kitty. He typed, any reward? Me, Theo? How old are you? Rewards for meds? Theo sent a puppy sobbing sticker. Getting the message, I couldn't help laughing. Charles, beside me, leaned in. What? I shook my head, pocketed the phone. Nothing. Charles was a donor this time. Also my first college boyfriend. Senior year graduation. Future plans clashed. We split. 3 years no contact. When I posted about arriving in Oak Village on social, Charles saw. He offered to donate materials with U.S. housemates. He handled it personally, flying back from America. I knew his intentions, didn't want entanglement, but the good for the village was undeniable. I couldn't ignore it. On the road, I avoided alone time with Charles. Sticking to work talk. He didn't push. Entering the village, car straight to school gate. Theo saw me exit, smiling, then froze, seeing Charles from the other side. Others greeted warmly. He stood rigid. I left hosting to school staff. Went to Theo, snapped fingers at his days. Penny for your thoughts? Theo flashed back to that winter night, heart-shattering. You went to pick him up yesterday? I nodded, handed something. Palm out. Instinctively, he did. A little green grass-woven puppy dropped in. This? What? Didn't you want a reward? I looked at him. Oh. Just one night, yet Theo felt no joy. You okay? I noticed his off vibe, checked his forehead. No fever. Why so pale? Nothing, probably. Probably. What? Theo couldn't say. He'd witnessed their love, that nightmare haunting sleepless nights. But he couldn't voice it. Charles, surrounded, eyed only me, noting my actions with Theo but didn't recognize him. Crowd dispersed. He approached. Laura, this is? Theo, I reminded. You two played ball before. Charles eyed Theo's face again, shocked. Of course he remembered the name, but not this changed man. Hey, Theo, you remember me? Theo clenched fist but felt the puppy. Forced a smile. Of course. You've changed so much. Charles scrutinized. Really? I don't feel it. Theo resisted facing him, turned to me. Got unfinished work going. Theo, his panicked face. I wanted to ask more, but he bolted. Back fleeing like escape. Weird, I muttered. Charles watched too, thoughtful. Then to me. Can you show me around? Need photos. I looked at him. He shook his camera. For reports. Sure. School small, tour quick. But Charles photographed everything over an hour. My mind on Theo. Once done, I slipped away. But Theo was nowhere. Asked around. No sightings. Dinner time. Cafeteria full. Theo entered from the door, squeezed at kid's table in corner. I didn't spot him at first. Texted him to join. He made excuses not to move. Principal Lawson intervened, pulling him to a spot diagonally across from me. Too far to ask what's wrong. When Phil poured wine, I interjected. Phil, Theo's on meds. Can't drink. Phil set jug down. Theo said, it's fine, no meds today, a little's okay. Theo, too many around, I couldn't argue. Just warned. Watch it, don't overdo. Theo looked, caught my glare. Suddenly, less miserable. Got it. Principal's homebrew. Low alcohol, but lingering. Post-drink, Theo's ears and face flushed. Head swimming. Mid-meal, he went to bathroom. Long absent. Worried he'd fallen in, I got Phil to search with me. Found Theo on a big rock by cafeteria wall, head tilted skyward. I'll check him. I told Phil to go in, approach slowly. What you looking at? Theo didn't move head. The moon. I looked up too. Post-rain moon, not bright as clear days. Not crescent or full, nothing odd. Didn't get why he stared so long. You into astronomy? Theo shook head, chuckled. Just like gazing at the bright moon. Why? He turned suddenly. Cheeks rosy, eyes brighter than sky moon, because you can see it too. The moon's nothing special, but thinking you might be gazing at the same one as me. Author's note, drunk guys spilling guts till hearts shatter. Note, female lead grad school grad, male lead undergrad grad. I stood there calm, but my heart pounded wildly, staring at Theo, his gleaming black eyes. Theo, you drunk? I couldn't tell if it was booze talk, but knew it was years' hidden truth. Theo lowered eyes. Half drunk, half not. Phone rang suddenly. Jane calling. I didn't move. Answered on spot. Jane had nothing urgent. Busy lately, finally free. Remembered her brother I dragged to mountains checking in. All good. Fever a few days ago, but fine now. I watched Theo. Head bowed on rock. 2 hair whorls on crown. Grandma said double whorls mean stubborn. Jane laughed on phone. Honestly, if you weren't desperate, I wouldn't send him. Why? I stepped aside casually. His personality. No kid would like him. Jane said. Always sour-faced like owed money. He's okay. With you, yeah. He's human only around you. Jane guffawed. Dined with Aunt Tessa recently. She's worried for Theo. 4 college years, Holden Labs, quiet type. Wonders if he'll find a girlfriend. That bad? I laughed, glancing at Theo. Still same pose. Profile sharp. Handsome, no angles. His face on recruitment flyers would work. But who likes an icy gourd? Jane from Heart. Theo sensed my gaze. Turned. Our eyes met. I recalled his teary red eyes from fever. Scorching palm gripping mine unconsciously. Phone. Jane and cafeteria noise blended into background. Memories flash like film, stopping here. I walked to Theo's maze exit. Finally saw. Theo before me always slightly different than with others. Illusion, but close teen companionship. Sudden adult distance. Fake real reunion vibe. Telling me it's no illusion. Jane, something here, hanging up. I ended call. Face tipsy Theo, troubled, silent long then. Better if you're drunk. Just then, Theo pitched forward like truly drunk. I called Phil, had him help Theo back to dorm. Meal not over, couldn't leave long. Thanks, Phil waved off. Go in. Principal was looking. Okay, back at table, mind on Theo. Even Charles serving food twice I missed. Meal end, Principal and I escorted Charles and crew to Villager's home for rest. You barely ate tonight. Worried? On road, Charles slowed, asked. I shook head. Nothing. Booze kills appetite. Charles chuckled. Still that habit. College, I'd night eat with Charles and ball team. Drink, no eat, shocking table. No matter advice, I wouldn't change. He'd feed me meat after each drink. Habits don't change overnight. Unwilling to reminisce, I sped up. How long staying? Undecided. Charles eyed me, hinting. Depends if plan works. I got subtext, silent seconds. Long since back, lots changed. People make it happen, Charles said. Clinging to past not always good. I hate dragging, people or things. Charles, donations, good deeds, welcome, but beyond nothing from me. Why? Charles sudden, because of Theo? I startled at sharpness. No answer. Charles, his look at you, different. I know what it means. I skipped, said. In your life, I'm always post-calculation choice. Dating. Breaking. Probably now too. You're straightforward, no plan B in work or life. No retracing. Look forward, believe the future brings variety. Theo or other, no matter, as long as I like. No need suit check. If I like, he gives what I want. I'll accept happily. Calmly. But it can't be you. Should have realized sooner, but unwilling. Charles' self-mocked laugh. Thought too rosy, I offered no comfort. Silent to homestay door, Charles. Theo's good, you two. Don't need you telling. I cut, smiled. Rest early. Going. No keep. No right. Next morning, his goodbye text. Laura, flying back US tomorrow morning. Wish you happy? No reply. Set phone down. Out dorm. Sunshine beautiful. New day beautiful. I strode forward, met Theo fresh from morning run at gate. Up early? Theo's eyes dodged, touched nose. Mosquito bite woke me. No incense in room? No, last night. Sensitive word. Theo guiltier. Phil and I drank too much. I odd meaningfully. Yeah, overdid. Hearing, Theo's brain heated. Limbs itchy. Showering first. Sweaty mess. Panicked flee. Limbs synced. I laughed loud. Theo heard, sped, tripped stair, crashed into Phil exiting dorm. Holy hell, Phil yelped. I burst laughing. Saw Theo scramble off Phil's chest. No bumps? No. Phil squeezed Theo's shoulder. Kid strong. Good my patting or we'd both down. Theo touched face, awkward laugh. Rushed. Sorry, Phil. Showering. You two chat. No glance at me. Bolted to bathroom. Phil and I ready. Chatted to cafeteria. All day, Theo barely around me. Dusk. Eve and I in office sorting files. Where's little Theo? Eve asked. I shook head. Dunno. Probably mountain back, gathering wood with Phil's group. Sunday, school off. Everyone busy. Realized today barely saw Theo. You two fight? Eve looked up. No. I paused. Why ask? Usually tails you. Within a meter of you, he's there. Eve. Like Little Mao following Chef Yang in cafeteria. Chef Yang cooked. Little Mao, stray dog he rescued from mountain. That obvious? I laughed. Eve's description fitting. Very, Eve affirmed. I pondered. Texted Theo. Where? Quick reply. Back mountain. I held phone, unsure what say. About to respond when another Theo. Heard from Phil. Boss Charles left today. Stunned second, realizing Charles. Why mention? Replied. Typing indicator long. You two reconcile? Me no. Another long wait. Why? Didn't he come to reconcile? I raised brow, replied. How you know he came for that? Obvious. I saw. Theo asked. You didn't agree? Yeah. I amused. So many whys? Long after. Want to know. Theo stubborn cute. Recalling Eve, replied. 'Cause my house has a little puppy. Author's note, sis, whose little puppy though? Mine equals 3. Theo didn't catch my joke, stared at words long to parse. Remembered school days? She'd run 800 meters from dogs. How now fostering one? Time really changes preferences. Even fears, or deep loves? Thinking, Theo pumped like blood chicken, shaking off gloom. If people changed like dogs once hated, maybe like people once not. Gripped phone, oddly excited. Replied excited puppy sticker. No response, no disappointment. Euphoria lasted to dinner. No avoiding me, sat opposite Duon. I saw his joy, smiled. Jackpot? Looked thrilled. Close, lotto soon. Theo's eyes sparkled, like little Mao gnawing bone nearby. Somehow found him adorable. Tossed meat to Mao, chicken leg to Theo's plate. Mao bowed eat, tail wagging fast. Theo bit leg. Why no tail? I muttered instinctively. What? Theo didn't hear. Looked up. Nothing. I shook head. Eat quick. Theo missed oddity. Unaware, in my eyes he mirrored Mao. Felt like gambler at wheel, tired, passive, waiting rules, conditions. They say more like, more passive. But Theo's entry, rare chance. Willing active, lose all. Back to start where he'd been years. I didn't know Theo's thoughts, but felt post that day, no avoidance. Class free, turn, they're behind. Before, no thought that way. No weirdness. But Theo's feelings unhidden, like scorching fire around me. Even would, I'd feel heat, and I'm not, grew up loved. Sense affection easy, but couldn't pinpoint when Theo started. Lately, pondered that. Couldn't help glancing Theo. Sometimes zoning, he'd approach, ask what's up, but I'd say nothing, just eye him. Theo often blushed red, averted gaze, then I'd find cute, pinched cheek, temp rising under touch, but he'd stand still, like anything I did fine. Sometimes Theo asked sensitive, like today sorting donated extracurricular books from Charles. Couldn't hold, asked why split with Charles, not like anymore? Fairly, Charles good. Learning we dated, Theo clumsily mimicked him, but frog in shoes, monkey in flowers. I like Charles himself, not copyable traits. Realizing Theo cut past ties, block phone, ignore related, but feelings unsuppressible. Theo didn't want lose rare chance. Hoped learn from Charles's fail. Split not cause stop liking, I said. No return cause no like now. Not unexpected, but Theo bitter persisted. If still like, why split? All he gave post his calculations left over for me. I shelved books. Don't want that love. Theo squatted floor, head down, sorting box. If someone gives love no calculation, all of it you'd consider? I no hesitate. Of course. If that's someone, Theo looked up, lashes trembling, heart racing abnormal. Someone you never thought of, you'd? I looked down, serious long, nodded. Yes. Theo relieved, excited, stood sudden, but long squat numbed legs, tumbled into empty box. I startled, then laughed at mess. Squatted. Okay, fine. Good he'd emptied box. No crush, just embarrassed. I stood, extended hand. Up quick? Finish this or no dinner? Theo grabbed without hesitation, palms heat making heart pound harder. Body weak, unconsciously pulling full force on joined hands. Next second, I toppled forward with boy's pull. Box tore. Couldn't hold two. Crushed flat. Theo's head hit ground hard. Back jabbed by box corner somewhere. I landed secure in his arms. Chaos sounds ended. World silent. Theo's head hit dizzy, but chest heart chaotic. No need strain. I heard every thump screaming his feelings. I sat quiet, leaned on shelf. Theo sat too, facing. Twilight through window. Dust motes floating. He dazed. Eyes hot. You guessed it all? Yeah. No lie. You're obvious. Not dumb. Theo half laughed. Tears first. Wanted hide, but can't suppress. Really can't. Didn't say hide? I smiled. So you. Theo felt weird crying, saying, wiped face rough. What you think? Bit surprised, I said. Just that? Theo red-eyed. Don't see me as pervert? Meishando he thought that, frowned. You like me? I see pervert, my brain broken? No, not mean that. Theo panicked, explained. Today unplanned, unsure how say. Silent seconds. Frank. Feel you always see me, bro, but I have such intentions. Seems wrong. I do see you as bro, I amused. But not blood, bro. Theo nose stung. Wanted cry, but not let see. Head down. What now? This time I laughed real. Theo, who likes who here? I like you. He sulked. Then let me think. Theo snapped up. Think. What? If accept your feelings. I leaned closer. Theo, your feelings not wrong. I like you too. Just my like now maybe gap from yours. Anyway, give time to change slowly. Hand to his wet eye corner. Wiped hot tears. Okay. Author's note. Crybaby pup gets sis's pit equals 3. You're listening to Lucy's Love Story channel. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Theo couldn't refuse my proposal. Wiped tears. Looked pitiful. How long think? I flicked his forehead amused. Don't push luck. Post-cry, Theo's nose tip, eyes red, pitiful, pursed lips, whispered, but only month plus left before I leave. I didn't overthink. Followed. Think done before you go. Theo immediate okay, wet eyes instantly bright, suddenly felt trapped by him. Theo, you waiting here for me? No. Theo mumbled. Touched face. If you didn't notice, wouldn't confess today. If hide, don't be obvious. I ruffled hair hard. Soft urge, more pinches. Okay, finish quick. Dinner soon. End of part 1. The next chapters will be updated here on Lucy's Love Story channel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the upcoming parts.